Hey friends, Ash here with Gents, coming at you guys today with 5 cheap fragrances that are a great bang for your buck, or that give you a great bang for your buck. So these are fragrances that smell like they should cost more than what you're going to pay for them, assuming you pick them up from discounters. And shout out to Khalil for the idea for this video. Again, I've got a lot of fragrance video requests and ideas and things into my email address. Still trying to work through those. So yeah. Let's go ahead and check these fragrances out. Cheap fragrances that are a good bang for your buck. I'm gonna start it off with one that's pretty obvious, and actually this whole line is obvious when it comes to cheap fragrances that are a great buy. You get a lot more than what you pay for with these. And this one is Lalique Encry Noir Sport. You could also go with the original Encry Noir or Encry Noir All Extreme. All 3 of those fragrances, some of the best value that you're ever gonna find. Now this one I found for $24.69. I'm gonna have a link in the description to each one of these. If you go to FragranceNet, it's gonna probably show you 25% off. Don't use that. You can actually get 35% off right now. Haven't found 37% off again. They used to have 37% off coupons. Right now 35 is the best that I found. So in the description there's going to be the coupon code for 35% off. I would use that, save yourself a little bit of extra money. And some of these prices that I'm referencing today I did pull from FragranceNet using that code. So alright, this is going to have vetiver, it's going to have cypress, grapefruit, aquatic notes, cashmere as some of the notes in the fragrance. This takes that Encry Noir DNA from the original, which is dark, it's rooty, it's fantastic smelling cypress and vetiver with cashmere, and makes it more wearable, even in high heat. So this is going to have a little bit of that rootiness, a little bit of that dark woodiness, but it's really offset by the grapefruit, by that citrus sweetness, and then the freshness from the aquatic notes in this fragrance. It's really, really high quality. It smells fantastic, different than 99% of other fragrances that guys are gonna be wearing out on the street. And the price on this cannot be beaten. Under 25 bucks, 100 milliliters, bottle is nice and classy. It's just a fantastic fragrance. This one will always be, until it's discontinued anyway, one of the best buys that you can possibly make. And again, that goes for the whole line, the original Encry Noir and Encry Noir All Extreme. If you're going for just the most wearable one, the most versatility though, gonna be this one. And also this one, probably the easiest to wear of the bunch. Well, no, definitely the easiest to wear of the bunch if you're a younger guy as well. Up next, a fragrance from the house of Issey Miyake. They have a lot of fragrances that are a great bang for your buck. And for this video, going with this one, Low Blue DC. You can get a 75 ml size bottle, which is this size right here, for $20.70 online. So this one is very, very cheap. It's got lime, ginger, and rosemary, but those are not the main players here. That's actually going to be cypress and juniper. Those are going to be the main things you get from this fragrance. So it's going to give it this very lively, green, brisk, kind of woody scent. This one's quite unique. Doesn't smell like it's really trying to emulate anything else out there. And with the ginger and the lime in here, along with that juniper, it really does give it this sparkle off the top, but it's not your more typical like heavy citrus, because you have that cypress coming in right away. This one does get overlooked sometimes, but in general, people that have this fragrance, that have smelled this fragrance, do really like it. And as I said, it is quite unique. I feel like the quality there, very high. Like with most Issey Miyake fragrances that aren't their throwaway summer releases each year, sometimes those ones get a little bit boring, but that one, very good, especially for the price. And that one actually you can sometimes find at TJ Maxx and Ross stores in the US. So there's a possibility that if you live in the US and you do frequent those stores, that you might run into that one. That's actually where I bought that bottle. Next up, this one also an easy one. I always go for this one when it's these type of videos where you're getting a lot of quality for a small price. It's Guerlain Vetiver. This one you can find for about $25.99, so roughly 26 bucks. There are a lot of notes in this fragrance, a whole lot actually. Of course, there's going to be vetiver in here. There's also tobacco, there's oak moss, you've got bergamot, lemon, You've got spices, floral notes. There's a lot going on here. For younger guys, I know vetiver fragrances sometimes aren't really something that a younger guy is going to gravitate toward. A lot of times vetiver comes across more like a gentlemanly fragrance, sophisticated fragrance, you know, sometimes a more formal fragrance. Some vetivers, like Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver, are a little bit easier for younger guys to wear. Guerlain Vetiver is really going to appeal more in general, not always, but in general, to guys that are late 20s and up, probably even 30s and up. It is very versatile, easy to wear into the office, easy to wear casually, easy to wear to a business meeting, obviously easy to wear formally, but it does have a little bit of that old school edge to it. That being said, it doesn't come across really dated necessarily. When I smell this, I don't go like, oh, that's an old man fragrance. That never really crosses my mind. Quality wise, getting a whole lot of bang for your buck here. I mean, this is from a celebrated house. It's one of their most recognized fragrances, and for good reason. This is one of the best vetiver fragrances that you can buy, and it's not gonna really cost you much at all. Now, I know that these first few fragrances maybe lean a little bit more toward guys in their late 20s and up, but I do have a couple fragrances in here for you younger guys as well. Next up, let's go with this one. Varvatos Vintage. John Varvatos has really nice fragrances in general, and typically for a very good price. You could also go with Varvatos Artisan Pure. As of this video, it's sold out at the discounters that I would typically use, but that happens. That fragrance kind of ebbs and flows. It'll come into stock, out of stock, in stock, out of stock. But that's another one to keep your eyes open for. Really nice citrus forward fragrance, has kind of a creamy feel to it. Very nice. This one I found for $29.27, so just under 30 bucks. This is gonna be more of a fall, wintertime fragrance. This is tobacco mainly, along with rhubarb. You've also got suede in here, suede leather. You've got balsam fir, among other notes. So this is gonna be more of a sweet, spicy tobacco. The rhubarb's gonna give you a nice little tart touch in there. Rhubarb is a note I really enjoy, doesn't get used enough. I feel like this one, really high quality, smells fantastic. It is my favorite Varvatos fragrance, and for the price, I think it's a big winner. The performance maybe is not as great as you would like in a fall and wintertime fragrance. It's not that it turns into a skin scent in 30 minutes or anything like that. It's just with those notes, tobacco and suede and balsam fir, you would think, oh, this is gonna have some oomph to it, but kind of doesn't. Still worth picking up though. Really nice stuff. Now, I know this is technically supposed to be 5 cheapies, but it's gonna be 7. So kind of lied to you there. And that was just because as I was working through this, I saw there really weren't many fragrances that were fresh fragrances, so I wanted to put a couple of those in. And here's one of them, Ferrari Bright Neroli, and you can pick this up for $21.44, so very inexpensive. You could also go with Radiant Bergamot if you wanted a fragrance that is bergamot forward rather than neroli forward. This does have citrus though. It's got citron, it has bitter orange, it has neroli of course, it's got orange blossom. A lot of people say that this is like an inexpensive version of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. It doesn't smell the same as Neroli Portofino, but they both are fragrances that focus on neroli. So in that aspect, I can agree that it would be like a cheap version of Neroli Portofino, a more affordable version if you wanted a fragrance that's focused on neroli. Now, I'm not trying to tell you guys that it's like completely different than Neroli Portofino, that they have nothing in common. Obviously they do. I just said they're both concentrating on neroli. It's just if you spray Neroli Portofino here and Bright Neroli here, you're gonna be able to tell them apart. Now, all that being said, this one is what it says, Bright Neroli. This one's fresh, uplifting, bright, clean, and it's gonna give you a big citrus touch along with that white floral feeling, a little bit of that soft white floral freshness, especially in the opening and through the mid. This one's great for high heat, springtime, summertime. This one is a killer. It's one that younger guys can wear very easily and older guys can pull off as well. A lot of versatility with this one. So yeah, Bright Neroli 2144, good price. Next up, let's go with a fragrance. It's maybe a little bit more mature, but not what I would call like an old fragrance necessarily. And it's Declaration by Cartier. Declaration. This one you can pick up for $29.24, so just under 30 bucks, and that's going to be for a 50 ml size. So it's going to look like this bottle, but cut in half, basically. This one has a lot of spice. It's got caraway, it has pepper, it has cardamom, there's also bitter orange, there is vetiver in here among other notes, and this one gets compared to Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir. Cartier is a house that gets overlooked a little bit in terms of fragrances. I mean, yeah, they'll catch love here and there for, like, for example, the new Pacha de Cartier Parfum. That one got some love. The flanker of this one, Noir, that one has gotten a lot of love, but outside of that, and maybe occasionally somebody talking about Cartier Roadster, it gets overlooked. But it is a really, really nice house. This one is going to be spice forward, especially the cardamom, but it's not really like a L'Oeil de L'Homme cardamom. This is not a super sweet fragrance. This is more a spicy fragrance. And to me, that one is another fragrance that's great for fall time or springtime, you know, kind of that neutral weather. That's when this one is good to wear. You can wear it formally to the office, you can wear it casually, but it is the type of fragrance that somebody who's a teenager or like early 20s probably not gonna go for, because it does have a little bit of that air of sophistication to it, that, again, gentlemanly sort of vibe, and a lot of times younger guys don't go for that. But fragrance-wise, it smells awesome, quality, very nice, especially for the price. All right, now we're at the last one, and this one is for the younger guys. This one does not blow me away personally. I think it's just kind of, you know, like a fresh, clean, warm weather, summertime kind of scent, like a gym scent or an out of the shower scent, but you can pick it up for a good price, and it's gonna be really versatile, really useful for a lot of guys out there. And it's this one, Penguin Premium Blend. Now, this bottle I actually found, I believe, in TJ Maxx. I didn't pay that much for it, $15 range, something like that. And at that price, not bad at all. Online, you can find it for about 24 bucks. I think 24.04 is what I found it for. And it's a 100 milliliter size. So, you know, that's a little bit more, 9 bucks, give or take. But it's not so much that it makes it an expensive fragrance. Obviously 24 bucks, still pretty cheap. So this one has mint, sea salt, lime, it's got sea notes. So, I mean, that really tells you what kind of fragrance it is, right? Fresh, brisk, a little bit salty, aquatic, touch of citrus. It's not anything that's groundbreaking. It's not something that's trying to like forge new ground and try to be this new fragrance where everyone goes, oh my God, Premium Blend has changed the fragrance world. Like, that's not what it is. But that's not what it's trying to be, so who cares? It's clean, it's fresh, it's versatile, it's a great daytime fragrance, it's a great high heat fragrance for younger guys out there. It would be a great fragrance in their wardrobe. And so that's why I have included it here in this list. Now, out of all of these fragrances, if I were going to pick one that I think, you know, gives you the least bang for your buck, it would be that one. But it does have a lot of use for a lot of people out there, no doubt. If I were going to pick one that gives you the most bang for your buck, probably be the Encry Noir. Don't hold me to that, that's just, you know, first thing that popped into my mind. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. And again, if you have shot me an email, I'll try to get back in touch with you. I've got a bunch of them to work through. So thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video.